I'll keep it to myself.
So Quana, you were about to talk some shit. Go ahead.
The stage is mine.
Mhm.
That's funny, Christopher. You are
I
so
just
funny.
stumbled across a movie called Master Gardener, and it really is about a dude that is a gardener. I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Japanese.
No, Round Eye, actually.
Mm.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably.
those fuckers. Just kidding. Just kidding.
It's okay. Manny is not offended, as we learned within the last couple weeks that Rob and Manny, Roberto and Emmanuel are the whitest members of this group. Turns out they're pure European blood people.
Look, given by my government last name, I do have ties to Spain, so this is not my year, guys.
If that was an apology, I would ask you to do better
You know what, Chris? You're right.
for all the crimes of your people,
all the atrocities
against the natives of my land.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, Quana's land. Or
there you go.
Thank you. My people.
her one side of her land.
One side of my people, the other side.
Yeah, her
And
land is your land.
then the other people came storming in.
Yeah.
Like, this is our land now. We're planting
Bitch.
potatoes. To hell with your
Yeah.
maize. Get your maize out of here. It's potato time.
Oh my God.
Uh,
I love potatoes so much. I really do.
Yeah, they're great. They're great food.
It's in my blood. They're the best.
Remember when that Penn Jillette guy came on, Adam Carolla, and he was talking about his potato diet? This was real.
Oh yes, that's
Yeah,
all
that
he
was-
would eat was like a potato
yeah.
for like a day or some shit.
I feel like you could do that with any one food. Like, you could take Starbursts, right? You could be like, I'm going to have a Starburst diet. You know, Starburst, the popular candy, right? You all know what I'm talking about.
I do.
And you just eat Starburst. Like, that's the only thing you can eat for a year. You will be emaciated at the end of the year. You'll be like Starbursts. Well, also your guts will rot, but like you'd be like potatoes.
Didn't that guy do it with McDonald's? He ate McDonald's only for a year. All
but I
3
think
meals McDonald's.
But he got real sick. Supersize me. I think he got real sick.
Okay.
And I was just talking about that for no reason whatsoever in the workplace a few days ago. How there was maybe I was talking about it in front of my mother. Yeah, she watched the kids for a night. I was saying there was a documentary about Supersize Me where the guy ate all Big Macs and got real sick. But now, like, there's documentaries about someone that eats McDonald's but only eats like the chicken wraps, like the grilled chicken, and like salad wraps, and they're fine. They're absolutely fine.
Stop.
They eat apples, like sliced apples, and McDonald's wraps, lettuce, whatever, and they're fine. The number one reason is, like, you can eat like you can eat like a lot of Big Macs, but you can't really eat a lot of McDonald's chicken wraps like that are healthy.
Right. I imagine that chicken too is probably not like, because Bill Gates is like manufacturing chicken now. So I'm thinking, like, if the chicken was going to go somewhere first, it would be McDonald's, right? You don't know that Bill Gates is manufacturing chicken?
I do know that. I was just wondering when you were going to bring him up. Like, how early?
We're live. We haven't started, but we are live.
That's right. Yeah, Robbie's setting up.
Yeah. What does that even mean?
He's doing the Guatemalan setup. I'm not sure what that means either. It just seems like it takes a long time. That's all I'm saying. Man, I've been feeling pretty aggravated lately. I don't know what it is.
It's Mercury in retrograde. I told you.
Yep.
Us too. Everyone is on edge.
It's all that Mercury I played with when I was like 8.
Did I spell it wrong? Is that what happened?
No, I think there's Mercury retrograde. Yeah, I think they're
Is
Mercury
it
and
spelled the
Mercury.
same?
I think so. I think Mercury and Mercury are the same.
No, bro,
Okay.
you got it
Because the
wrong.
planet, we're talking about the planet Mercury and also
I'm talking
the,
about the planet Mercury and also the stuff that we played with as kids on the playground in
yeah, is
Dixie
Mercury
cups.
an element or is it? Okay.
It's a planet and an element. The
We're about
element
to get all
actually
scientific.
comes from the planet. If you didn't know, hot fact. Don't quote me on that, by the way.
What? The mercury that is in the thermometers comes from the planet? No, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, I'm just fucking around.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I don't even believe that we've been to Mars, so don't get me started. They're pulling mercury for thermometers in the 70s from the planet Mercury, which
Is that where they come
these
from?
motherfuckers. No,
Me for pulling her leg.
yeah.
Actually,
Like
I
when
do have a Y Files episode that I had to share with you that talks about this whole planetary alignment thing
Oh,
and how it
man.
affects our planet.
the polar shift or the polar whatever. Is that what
That
you're talking about?
well, I mean that gets brought up as well, but something bigger. So
I'm still getting over the pyramids in Egypt are alien radio antennas.
nah, bro, they were for electricity. Well, yeah.
Oh, they were alien electricity generators that ran
Yeah.
the antennas. I
Yeah.
see. Yeah.
Well,
Power source.
I keep
My
seeing
bad.
like TikToks of like people over in other countries and even in this country, some of the buildings have like this metal built into them. And then like if you look at it, like it was definitely their energy was free at one point. They're lying to us about that for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, because I believe it because if I ran an oil and gas company
Mm-hmm.
and then like in my spare time, I found a free, a free source of unlimited energy, I'd probably keep it a secret.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Until I could figure out a way to monetize it in some way.
Oh, look at who's here. It's the man.
Well, I'm trying to find out what Mercury is, if it's an element, if it's like an element on the element, like what is it? The elemental chart? I don't know what, it's a little late, but anyway,
Actually, I
internet's not
gotta
being friendly and,
give
Robbie's
Rob a
here.
heads up. We officially changed your name last week to Nakatomi Robbie. It's no longer Robbie Spotlight.
oh yeah, hashtag.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, why is that?
It's a long story we can't get into right now.
We thought you might have been being attacked by an army of the
International
unhoused.
thieves. Yeah.
No, the unhoused on Trank.
There you go.
It's the newest street drug. If you don't know this, Trank.
Frank.
Yeah.
It says
I think-
it's the flesh-eating zombie drug.
I think I saw that movie with that guy from that British guy from no, that's Crank, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Jason
Yeah.
Statham.
Guy
yeah.
Ritchie. Was it
that
Guy
guy.
Ritchie?
But I think
Yeah,
Crank was also a drug. There was a lot of like
Yeah. Oh,
weird
totally.
names for like Crank and Angel Dust and stuff like that back in the 70s, 80s.
Crank was totally a drug. Not
People
that I
do
never
like
did it, but
people do lewds, short
Yeah.
for Quaaludes. I don't know what they are. Like,
Ludes.
I came of age after they were just, I guess, passe. I don't know.
same.
Send lewds.
I've
Yeah, but
only
people
heard
would be
good
like, yeah.
things.
Yeah, I don't know what they are.
Robbie.
Hey guys.
Why would I get a Square notification if I don't have Square? A scam? The government. Just kidding.
Mhm.
You guys, it's Friday, Craig.
Yeah, no. Happy Friday to everybody,
Happy Friday.
except for FBI agents that go to school board meeting parking lots and take down license plates.
Boom.
Did you
Fuck
see that
those
video I
fuckers.
sent you?
I did.
God damn.
I saw it live. I watched it live yesterday. Crazy.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And it's like people's response. I don't know. Like people just want to stick their head in the sand.
Yeah.
Like
It's
You
easier.
you're just going to a school board meeting with your neighbors. And there's an FBI agent in the parking lot taking down license plates to know who's going.
Yep.
Tell your
Which is
kids, tell your
uncle.
kids. The people that have their heads stuck in the sand, there's no hope for them, in my opinion, unless there's a famine. But there's no hope for them. Like, so tell your kids, this is the kind of stuff that's happening.
My kids already know.
Yeah, you got to tell your kids so they kind of grow up in a world where they're like, well, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Robbie, where are you? You're in such a sterile environment.
I know. I'm at still in my office building, but not in the usual office. I'm in my former place, this little conference room, because I was having connection issues. Yeah, recently. I don't know what, you know how some companies, if you're using their work Wi-Fi, even if I'm not looking at porn. Not right now. I am. I mean, I'm not.
Not on this tab.
No, exactly. But it's just weird how that was. It was not letting me go to my Google account, my Gmail account. It's just weird.
We believe you. It's okay. You don't have to be specific. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. Weird, wild stuff.
I'm sure they do that to everybody and not just you specifically in your IP address. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah, I bet you they know what's in my computer.
Building-wide policy, and definitely not all about you.
Yeah, definitely not just me.
Mhm.
Just you.
Where to get it going?
Mhm.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Am I gonna?
We're missing Lil Man, but I'm sure he's close, right?
Oh, I didn't realize
What?
that he
Oh, that
was
meaning was gone.
off screen. Oh. So we'll do some more. Yeah, let's talk about Crystal more. I really enjoyed that episode. I don't know.
I did not mind it.
I get why people are, who, don't have my refined tastes, didn't appreciate it. I try to understand other people. I really do.
There was a guy on the happy hour, J Mac, who said that he didn't
Shout out to J
appreciate.
Mac.
He said he didn't appreciate the 30 questions about the strip club that he went to 30 years ago. I was like, yeah, that was kind of a weird, cringy section. Anyways.
All right, let's get this going.
I feel like, if you're going to have your new girlfriend on your podcast and then bring up strip club etiquette and stuff like
That's
that,
on you.
then
Yeah, that's on you.
you stepped in that, ace man. But, all of us, we, sometimes we learn lessons late in life.
Yeah. That part.
Oh, right in the middle, Robbie. All right, I'm ready to go.
Yep.
We're ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 153 of your Endless Ranters podcast. We do what we want and we appreciate your support. My name's Chris. I'm one of your hosts for this evening. I'm joined by the one and only Robbie Spotlight. What up, Daddy-O?
What up, homies?
Well, all kinds of stuff is up, homies. It's a soggy mom living in a crunchy mom's world, getting 7 miles to the gallon. What up, Quana? How you doing?
Good. Thank you, Christopher.
You're very welcome. And it's the man with the plan. It's producer Manny. What's going down, old man?
I would just like to take the time to wish our very own Soggy Mom a happy birthday.
That's a little early, but yeah, I might not be here next week.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog.
Kid
Shouldn't you be
Rock.
on the street like yelling at strangers for violating ordinances and stuff?
Yeah. I'm at the age.
It's time to
It's time.
transition into that period of your life where it's like,
Yeah.
did you reserve this picnic spot?
Exactly.
It's like, no,
What are you
no, ma'am.
doing
Did you?
here,
Like, no,
fellow?
I'm asking the questions. I'm too lazy to do a woman's voice. Anyway,
Yeah. No, I like it.
it's fine.
Hello.
Yeah, not all,
Hello.
yeah. So let's talk about it. So, first episode of the Crystal Show with guest Adam Carolla. What was that? Was that Thursday? I guess that was Thursday, right? That was the last
What's the
episode
last
of
show
the
of
week.
the week? Yeah.
The last episode of the 4-day work week for the Ace Man. So yeah, let's get our thoughts out there. And as we get our thoughts out there, maybe I don't know, maybe we could start with some of the mixed reviews from the Adam Carolla podcast Facebook group. Because they were mixed, weren't they? Like, yeah, it seems like
Yeah.
some people did not appreciate that at all.
I was just surprised at how many people were, upset. They had thoughts. I've never seen, I'm an admin in that group. So well, some of us, all of us. But
Don't
you,
even
Christopher.
try to say you've never seen the level of hatred, because it's like,
Oh, but the volume
can't-
of it,
You can't dance
volume.
around that.
The volume of it. Like when someone
Oh,
dies,
yeah,
like
yeah, okay,
immediately
yeah.
people are like wanting to post their funny, I'm going to tell my kids this was so and so.
It was more the quantity of the hatred, not the quality of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quality was
volume.
consistent. The quantity was a lot. Right?
Is
Is that true, Manny?
Yeah.
Well, y'all let a lot, like you all don't, you admins, you people, you admins.
What do you mean,
Yeah.
you people?
Yes.
I think
Your
we're
admin
maybe a little
privilege.
catty with that stuff. So we maybe
Oh,
let
yeah, I
maybe
don't-
a few more crystal ones through than we normally would. We would try
You know,
to filter out.
Bring
but-
me in. I'm down. I'll help out. I'll help you guys out I'll send messages, but
Put me in,
usually
coach.
you don't allow a lot of like repeat posts about the same thing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but y'all
Not
were
this week.
like, yeah, you're like
YOLO.
approved drunk. Yeah. Living,
Yeah.
life like you're 49.
La vida loca. Yeah. She's blocked
That
some
was
of the
fun.
admins. So,
There was a guy that
Yeah.
posted something tonight. I think as the happy hour was starting, it said something like, would the admins of this group please let me know when it's my turn to share my post about Christy? Like,
Yeah.
you got her name wrong too.
Yeah.
I was eating my lunch and I laughed so hard. My dog jumped and he doesn't even hear anything. Like that took
Oh,
me
damn.
out. I approved
Yeah.
it in like 1 second. I was like, yep, you're next, buddy. You're up.
My hearing's back.
that was a funny post. I appreciate those posts.
So funny.
Yeah. You guys let a lot of stuff through today. Very loose admins, must say.
Yeah.
I have to say, Kwana and everybody else was doing a lot of the brunt of the work. I was too busy with work to be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slack on, man. Slack on.
Hey, I'm all about slacking off. You
Slack
get my
on, slack
drift.
off.
Yeah, there you go. Especially
I
tonight.
kind of wonder if she's in
What we're
that
talking
group. Do you ever
about.
think about that? Wonder if she's in that group?
I would
Spying.
guarantee it. Because she seems to be
The type, right?
on her. Yeah, well, yeah, she seems to like to know what's going on,
Yeah.
to be informed.
Yes.
So, well, I hope
wish
she
I knew
doesn't,
how to make
I hope she doesn't get the wrong impression or
bacon.
whatever,
Yeah. I mean,
or do. I don't know.
Have you done mushrooms lately, Christopher? You seem to be a lot more empathetic.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I could be getting microdosed. I don't know.
Your kids are fucking over here dosing you without your knowledge. Hey, yeah. How would you feel if one of your kids dosed you
I
later
gotta
on
keep them off the internet.
as they get older,
No
like as a
kidding.
prank?
Well, I don't know. Depends where I am. If it's like I'm out fishing in like a nice area, like nature, like I appreciate that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
If I have to drive to
You're in
work in
traffic.
traffic, like that's not cool. You're gonna put daddy in jail.
And we all know
Oh.
Christopher just wants to get home to his family.
I do.
I know. It's so
do.
sweet.
Do not get in my way.
Ugh.
I've been noticing a lot more crazy people. We'll get back to this episode, but yeah, I just been noticing like an uptick in crazy people on the street, standing near the street. And granted, I'm not driving through, the
mhm.
whatever the district, like I'm not driving through the city. I'm driving through like suburban streets. But even then, and maybe not the nicest suburbs, but these are definitely not like downtown areas. Just been noticing more people who look really weird and are dressed weirdly. That's a word, right? In a weird way.
Sure.
Right.
Looking disheveled, standing closer to the street.
That's
So we have, and like, and I'm talking about like this is an area where you have a sidewalk and then grass and then curb and then street, right? This is not like all concrete sidewalk and then street. It's like sidewalk, grass, curb, street.
Right.
And they're standing like they're like kind of teetering on the curb.
And sounds like a horror movie.
And it's like, you're like, is this person like, it could be like a high school student that just is going like, is like hobo chic, and is just looking down at their phone. Or it could be like a homeless person who like wants to die and is like talking to a banana in their hand. And it's like, they're about to step out in the street in front of you. Like I've noticed more of those types of people.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have an explanation. Well, more of a theory.
Should be good.
It could be one of two things.
I appreciate this real-time explanation.
And one of them could be so far-fetched. One of them's a psyop tailor-made specifically for Chris to see if he'll notice these people.
My own personal matrix.
Yep. And the other is a TikTok challenge.
It could be the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
One and the same, bro.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to add that to my calculations while I'm driving. Like, is this
Before
a TikTok challenge? Homeless person? Yeah. Schizophrenic, maniac, teenager, Yeah.
So ask yourself that the next time you're on the road.
Yeah. It's getting weird out there. And when I say uptick, I'm talking about like I would see one every now and then. Like now I see one every day.
Oh yeah. Well, that's
so I'm not getting close. I'm not outnumbered, but it's like I'm slowing down a little bit. Like gotta be careful.
Yeah,
because there could be like someone in the bushes filming it.
Or have you seen those videos of China? I think, or Russia. I think it's China where the citizens.
I've seen all those videos of China and Russia. Man.
They try and jump in front of moving cars.
Oh yes,
to get the insurance. To get to sue.
That's also big in South Korea.
That was a Chips episode back in 1981. No lie. Ponch and John had to go out because there was an insurance fraudster that was going out. Like
they had to go undercover and bust this guy.
I may have spoken too soon. He wasn't throwing himself in front of cars as Robbie was saying. Yeah, that's different. He was like slamming his brakes on in front of people in fancy car. But yeah. What were you saying?
Oh no. Just it sounds like it could be something like that, right? It's it's funny. I tell the 8-year-old, whenever we're walking down the street, I've already told them, don't stand too close to the corner, don't stand too close to the edge, because you never know. Sometimes there's accidents where the driver will miscalculate, they'll drive over the curb, right? So I tell them, and I always tell them, head on a swivel, always be aware of your surroundings.
Do you tell him that when he's a man that he has to sacrifice his body for the woman and be on the outside?
He has to stand on the outside. Exactly.
Be scared now when you're a kid. This is your training session. But once you're a man, if there's a woman around, then, stand as close to the curb as you can because we got to take you out.
That's when these kids are like, technically, I'm not a man. I have
yeah, exactly.
I'm 9 years old. Like,
technically, I can't join the service yet.
Legally, I noticed that driving home today, I saw a young girl who I immediately did not like. Immediately knew was not a maniac, like crazy person, but she was like standing on the median on the curb, like looking down at her phone.
Oh, so dangerous.
I was like, man, don't like people like there are people driving their cars on their phones that don't notice you standing there. Like you need to have your head on a swivel, girl. Crazy.
A swivel.
Anyway, so yeah, Adam Carolla had his girlfriend Crystal Denha.
Wait a minute.
His episode on Thursday. Yeah, really. Did you know that was his girlfriend?
Did he say that was his girlfriend?
No, he didn't. They didn't.
Hmm.
But
That's a
Dawson
trick. That's a
introduced her
trick too.
interestingly,
That is
right?
that's an experiment right there, because I don't think Dawson said that. So there's two kinds of listeners. There's listeners that knew that and heard him say that's his girlfriend, which he did not say. And there's other listeners that were just like, this chick is not funny. Like, who is this? Who is this? Who is this lady?
I mean, I get she did. There were some parts where it sounded like she was interrogating him. You know, I'm sure she was kind of giving him a hard time, like kind of like, okay, I got you in the hot seat. I don't mind. I mean, it is the Adam Carolla show, right? So if there's stuff that she can get him on, or info, or like, oh, I didn't know this. Oh, I'm glad someone is kind of poking at him. I don't know. That was fine. I don't know, right?
What is she? What I mean, what are the alternatives? Because that's what I think about. Like you say, like, oh, you know, not you, but people are like,
Mm.
she was giving him too many. What are the alternatives?
An
She just sits there and
exhausted.
nods.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is that what you want, men of the world? No, you do not. Please save it. You know, and then or laugh hysterically at all his jokes. Like,
Oh,
is that-
exactly.
Is that what you want, men of the world? No, you do not.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop it. Like, that's not what you want. Why? Like, that's not what anybody wants. That's not what any dude wants. Like some freaking sidekick, like just walking around behind them, like laughing at all their jokes. Like, no dude wants
Mhm.
that. So I don't understand why these dudes are projecting that on Adam Carolla. Like, it's strange.
You know what's funny? Within us, I will complain sometimes about, you know, I'll bring up my daily things with, you know, with the missus, right? But many times what's funny is
Like what?
Exactly. Well,
You
that-
go,
No, I mean,
King.
like you said, you bring it up so infrequently. I don't remember.
join the Patreon and I'll dish everything. But you know what's funny? Sometimes she tells me, she's like, "Come on, I'm just giving you a hard time." I'm like, "Giving me," and she goes, "I like to get." She's told me, "Oh, I like to get you mad." I'm like, really? You want one of these days you're gonna give me a heart attack? I'm gonna get so mad. You know, what if I was the violent type, or what if I don't know? You really want me to, you know? I'm not,
Yeah,
but
man.
but you know, some of
those
these
chicks out there
ladies,
just like to gamble all the time, you know.
sometimes your partner wants to kind of poke at you and bring out something in you, and you know, or
Man,
give me a
fuck that.
hard
I ain't
time.
got time for that shit. Don't poke me. Just be like,
Well, yeah, exactly. But like, oh, you really want me to you want me to start talking about my ex? Is that really what you want? If you want, I can start talking about my ex.
I sure as hell do.
Exactly. Yeah, and you usually don't, you know, don't want to, or you don't want to hear, you know, like Adam and Drew used to always say, right? More mystery, less history.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. Less history,
Less
more
history,
mystery.
more mystery. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good, firm believer.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Because now, whatever you know about your partner from when you were just going out on the first, second, third day. Oh, so how were your other relations? What do you like to do? Or what are you into? Or what do you? And then later on, once you get into fight, oh, is that what you did with the other guy? Or is that
They
what you
throw
did
it in
with
your
your girl?
face.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Throw it in their face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men like to pretend a lot. So just zip it. You know, just keep it quiet. Just keep that to
Yeah.
yourself.
Don't brag. Don't brag.
Yeah. It's good.
Or
So anyway, yeah. So I enjoyed that episode because I came at that episode like, this is going to be interesting. Like, I really want to see how Ace Man is. I want to see how she is. I want to see how they are together. You know,
yeah.
it's like my own personal TMZ. I don't care about any other celebrities other than Adam Carolla. Like, that's it.
Well, yeah, that hour and a half.
But I am fascinated by him. You know, like I
Mhm.
love Adam Carolla. Like I like him. Let me use the words that he used to describe Gina and Bald.
Yeah.
When he announced her departure. I like them. I like him. I am fond of him. I like that he's living. You know, anyway, no, but because I'm interested, I'm fascinated by what makes him tick. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like what drew him to this new one. You know, that was different from the old one. You know, like that's
I've
interesting.
heard she's very nurturing. I think that's it. I
Well,
think that he didn't get that from his mom, and Lynette gives it to the kids, but not to him. I think that she's very nurturing. And
I'm
that's,
so glad you said that.
yeah.
So I was trying to say something about this today, and I think that's the perfect setup. I
This is
think
why we have Q on the show for. Sorry.
exactly.
I'm not just a cackling bitch. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I am. That's exactly what I am.
And the Native American wisdom.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Yes.
like some dudes can I think present as unnurturable, or like that they weren't nurtured, so they're like, I don't want your nurture.
Mhm.
Like it confuses them. So like there may have been a time where she's nurturing the kids and she's trying to nurture him, but he's like, does not compute. What is this?
Mhm.
Like, and also because like I think Ace is a guy that's kind of like, he always talks as if he's got it all together, right? He's got everything planned out, like his breakfast, lunch, dinner, like every calorie he needs, he's got it. He's a self-contained unit, right? So it's kind of like I try to imagine that that's going to be difficult for a woman to like figure out where her place is with a guy that's got it all like figured out. And then also complains about everything he doesn't like.
Yeah.
You got to be a
That
little bit
part.
nervous all the time. Like, even if I do try to nurture and I make him eggs, it's like I didn't make the eggs right, or I left, like he's a little bit hypercritical.
Mhm.
Some of us can be that way sometimes, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting to me that he might complain about that, but I wonder if he understands that maybe he wasn't putting off I would like to be nurtured vibe. Is that a good way to say that?
I mean, maybe
I
they
think-
got together so young. Like they were both so young. They were married for over 20 years, right? Like,
Okay, you said young, but there's a difference between when you got married young and when they got
yeah,
married young.
right.
So
But
they
I
were in
mean,
their high 20s, like, or lower 30. They
right.
were like 30. They're both 30. That's not that young.
Mhm.
I was thinking today that like maybe that's why humans are fertile at a younger age, so that they can have kids, go through this torment of like
Robbie.
husband and wife and kid stuff. They can
Yeah.
go through, and then by the time they're like 25, they got to figure it out. Like, oh God. But like the longer you wait to have kids, like the more mature you think you are. Like there's a part of having kids and getting married and having kids that adds a area of maturity. I think maybe that, I don't know, I'm rambling.
I've got to
I
figure it
remember.
out.
Yeah, of course you do.
Y-
I thought I
yeah,
did too.
just all you got to do is say, as guys, just say yes, dear, yes, dear, and other than that, don't say anything else. Don't give your opinion. Don't give your opinion on furniture around the house.
I can see the
Don't.
smoke coming out of his ears.
So specific. It's always so specific.
He's like, serenity now.
Never generalized. It's like the
Serenity
exact
now.
fight.
Furniture is not our thing, guys. It's their thing.
Serenity now.
Sorry.
We
Woosah.
can come hashtag Serenity Rob. I'm talking about a Seinfeld episode, right? You guys.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we know Serenity.
George is getting angry.
Oh yeah, Chris just made a good point. Nakatomi Rob's out, Serenity Rob's in.
Oh man.
Anyway, Quana. So yeah,
But was
yeah.
I just talking crazy there? Or is there maybe something to that? Like where
No, I think that maybe in his younger years, because he was so used to being neglected by women, that a neglectful woman, not saying that Lynette's neglectful, because she says she's a no-getter, which I assume that means that, she doesn't do a lot, right?
she said that?
So-
What?
She called herself a no-getter on her podcast. She says that she's a no-getter. Like she doesn't really have like the desire to do the things. So,
Okay.
I mean, if you think about Adam in his childhood, like his parents neglected him. He was neglected by his parents, right? Lived on a
Mhm.
porch, barely provided for, no money for gas, no money for yearbooks, no money for equipment, no money for anything. Like they just barely were okay with him being in their house, right? The
Mhm.
mom kicked him out. Anyways, that being said, like he's used to that kind of neglect. As a young man, you think, okay, I don't need it. Fuck it. I don't need nurturing. But now as he's getting older and going into his 60s and had this marriage and his kids are, handled with the mom and the nanny and the house and all the things, like he can just leave that. Maybe he's turning into like, maybe it's my time to like have somebody scramble my eggs for me or have somebody
Adam,
rub my feet or, she's nurturing. Like Allison Bedell, remember how like obsessed he was with that massage that
yeah,
Allison
Yeah.
gave
Oh,
every
yeah.
night?
Ace Man is starting to listen to himself. The sniff of wisdom right there. So what would Ace Man say about Dr. Drew's dad, who was all things considered, a wealthy physician who also grew up in like the Depression,
Mhm.
Right.
Also
So it
grew up
was
with the
very,
but was
Depression
also very
mindset.
cheap in his later years.
Yeah.
yes.
Adam would say, that was 50 years ago. You're a wealthy doctor now. Go out to dinner, So
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
seems like Adam's starting to listen to himself.
Yeah.
And
And
like
Malibu.
not let like what happened to you when you're 12
Dictate the rest of your life.
like dictate you when you're 60, when you're 50, when you're 40, 50, 30, 40, like go back.
Whatever,
Like,
what have you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever age range.
don't let it dictate who you are when you're 25, 35, 45. Well,
Plus Lynette wanted the divorce. So I think that
yeah, that's something.
like
That's something.
you think that you're going out and you're grinding every single fucking weekend and every goddamn day, like you're grinding. And you think that this is your life. You chose that wife to be your wife and to be your mom of your kids and to create this life. And then she wants a divorce. She wants out. Like it's not good. Nothing you're doing is good enough for her. Right.
Some of it is okay. So if you're a factory worker, good, cool, okay. But if some
Yeah.
of your grinding is self-inflicted, right? Because you don't need to work 6-7 days a week, man. Like you don't really need to work that much. Like
Right.
you could like
And maybe that's why he's going
entire
down to 4
generate
days a
like
week.
at some point, like you do have to realize, like, as much you love cars, like entire generate, like multiple generations of families could like live a wealthy life like with one of your cars. Like, so like, I don't know, you don't need to work 7 days a week.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
okay. If you were poor when you were 12 and you didn't have stuff and you envied your neighbors, like, okay. But at some point when you get to like 35, 45, you realize like, I don't need to work 7 days a week because I felt bad when I was 12.
Yeah. But you also in that industry, you make hay while the sun's out, right? Like, is
Yeah.
that the expression?
Yeah.
Like, how long and
Well, what I just said, how much hay do you need?
right.
Do you
You're
have
right.
how many, do you have thousands of horses?
And how hungry are they?
Right. I mean, I would be devastated if he stopped making podcasts. Like, maybe he just thinks like, I have this fan base, and while they're still here, I'm just gonna give. They say you're happier when you give.
Yeah. I'm not trying to be, I'm not being critical of anybody's life choices. I would just advise people to
Yeah.
not live in until like,
No, you're right.
what happens
You're
to
right.
you, once after you're like 20, well, no, maybe earlier, but like at some point, what happens to you in life is very much up to like, is 100% up to you. Oh, we might have to slide right into that New York City bike rental fight.
That is so deep to
Because
go so shallow.
because like when you're a 38-year-old woman living in New York City and you find yourself at a physical and you're 6 months pregnant.
Ooh.
And you're finishing a 12-hour shift and you find yourself in a physical scrap with a young man over a rental bike, you should question all of your decisions in life. You should question what you value. You should question how much hay you need. You know, you should question, why am I working a 12-hour shift? Why am I in a city surrounded by people who hate me? Why am I fighting with this 18-year-old over a rental bike? Why don't I own a bike? Why can't I drive to work?
Okay, I think I
Why
have the
can't I
answer
live near where I work?
to all your questions. She was
Okay.
severely dehydrated and couldn't think straight. Boom.
Bam.
From being
Bingo.
overworked.
We have a winner.
From being overworked. There we go.
See,
Yeah,
I
man.
watched that video and maybe my standpoint is from being a woman, but she does have a receipt that she did scan that bike. That dude was so close to her. Like if some man was like that close to me, regardless of anything, I would be upset too. I mean, I would be yelling at him. It would be way more animated towards him. I wouldn't be seeking like help, help. I wouldn't have done the fake tears and the stuff that she did, but I would be fighting with him. Like, you know, he was just so close. I couldn't believe how close he was to her body.
Well, I've been around a woman who was 6 months pregnant, so I don't know. I would never use the term fake tears
I guess you're right. It's been a long time.
at that stage in the pregnancy.
But that's what they're calling it on TikTok. They're saying
know,
that
I
she
know,
tried
I
to
know.
get a man killed. with
Yeah,
her
yeah. She
fake
weaponized
tears,
her. She was a
her
white woman.
whiteness.
She was
Yeah.
a white woman who weaponized her tears, they said.
Yeah.
That is
Which, I
exactly what
mean-
they've said. Well, it may be that there were some young men who weaponized the color of their skin against her.
That's what I was like. I don't know. I felt like I would have been screaming for help too. I would have been making a scene as well.
Kids.
I mean, I probably would have made, I would have been like, let me check it back in and you can have it. I would have walked away. I wouldn't have made that big of a scene, but I would have been like, why are you touching me?
Please take this in the spirit in which it's intended
Of course.
and as a compliment. Young people of all races, creeds, sizes, and whatnot are savvy as fuck.
Yeah.
And they know the power of video.
Yeah.
They know the power of the Karen.
Her attorney was on Fox News this morning.
Yeah, they know. Like, young kids are smart. I don't care what shape they are, what color they are, where they come from, what religion.
Cunning. They're cunning. Kids are
They
horrible.
are
Kids are
savvy.
mean.
They are
Yeah.
savvy. They've probably watched
playground.
a YouTube. They've probably watched a YouTube video on a school district owned iPad about how to stage a viral event. They've
Ask
probably,
ChatGPT.
like your tax dollars paid for them to be able to watch a video on a tutorial on how to stage a viral event, how to frame a Karen. So my thought is like, it could be both.
Coming
Like,
soon on Netflix.
yeah, like, because apparently like it's come out and her lawyer has said that she is very much all about the diversity and inclusion and diversity and
I hate that you have to
what's
say
the E
that.
stand for? Diversity,
Exclusivity? No.
diversity,
Inclusion.
Equity.
equity. Yeah. She's very much into that. Her attorney has come out and said that she's all for it. She's all for it. There's a part in that video where she realizes, like, I swear, there's a moment in that video where she, like, right after the tears, right after the,
Weaponized
No,
tears.
Yeah, right after those guns came out, those eye guns came out. There's a moment where she realizes, oh shit, I have helped to create a world where no matter who is right or wrong, no matter if I've paid for this bike or not, no matter if I'm innocent or not, 100% I will come out of this looking like Satan.
Mhm.
There's a moment in that video where she realizes, oh,
It's over.
it's over for
Yeah.
me. And I hope, well, I maybe I'm putting a little bit into that, but I hope that in that same moment she realized that this is the world you've been creating.
Oh yeah.
You've
Probably.
been creating a world of people that resent the F out of you
Yep.
for breathing. And here
Are
he
you
is,
saying because she's a nurse or because she's a white woman?
white woman.
Oh, yeah.
Profession has nothing to do with this.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Well, speaking of profession, also, whatever you do, if you're going to do anything, even if your intentions are good, you might want to remove your work shirt from the public because that's easier for people to find who you are, where you work.
The day
Wild
I
how fast
guarantee
they find
you,
people, right?
the
Yeah.
day before, because she apparently she has like a 40-minute scooter ride home or something like that. Yeah.
Wow.
The day before, I guarantee you, she was zipping through town proudly with her Bellevue Hospital garb on,
Mhm.
right? On her
Yeah.
scooter, like proudly showing where she worked,
Yeah. Street cred.
proudly showing that, she's a healthcare professional
Yeah.
Yeah.
that will help anyone, no matter what race, creed, belief,
Unless they're unvaccinated 2 years ago.
And then the next day, it cost her job because she lost her job
Yeah.
because she immediately got identified and her employer immediately judged her as a Karen, which they're going to wind up paying for. They're going to, this
Yeah.
lady's going to be rich. Like
Yeah. Baby's
Oh.
gonna have a good nursery.
I
the
kinda hope so.
$80,000, the 80K she has in school loans are going to be paid off. It's guaranteed.
Mm.
Guaranteed that.
Good.
Which that kind of goes back to like my whole like, why are you fighting with someone over a rental bike?
Yeah.
Right.
Why don't these are my thought experiments that I go through and when I get on the spectrum.
It is kind
Like,
it
I'm like,
is
why
kind of
don't
like
you,
one of those things though. Like if
why don't you
like
own a
in
bike?
the situation, well, in New York, where would she store it? At the hospital? There's a lot of theft, but people still buy.
This is you think I'm looking for false answers. I'm looking for real answers. The answer is because it'll
No.
be stolen.
Yeah, it'll be stolen in that city.
Because
period.
Because if I want to pay for a storage unit,
Yeah.
or like a $100 lock doesn't do because the
No.
criminals around here have $100, like $1,000
Yeah.
tools to cut a $100 lock.
And
So that's the answer to that
DA
question.
that
So
won't do anything. A DA that won't do. They're not going to charge you for stealing a bike. That's nothing. That's a
Thank
nothing
you.
burger.
Thank you, because
Yeah.
it just gets worse. Like the line of answers from that question gets worse. Like just simple question: why don't you own your own bike?
Yeah.
Why don't you own your own bike?
I'm gonna take a page out of Los Angeles leaning politics and be like, it's her fault for not taking so long to buy a bike. If she would have purchased a bike long ago, she wouldn't have ruined her own life.
Well, but the truth is, like, because
All right, Seth Rogen.
because she's not a stupid person, right? She's
No.
not a stupid person that
Yeah.
throws money on the street. She's like, well, if I buy this $200 bike, it'll be stolen in a week, or I'll have to rent
Well,
a
that's the
$200
purchase.
space,
That's the point of the city bike.
or
though.
I'll have
It's
to buy a $200 air tag, or I'll have to spend so much money to secure this thing that it's cheaper for me to rent a bike.
if you live in a city, that's what you do. You take a cab or you rent
I'm telling you,
transportation, right?
You live in a place where you can't even own a bike.
Yeah. A lot of people, I mean, but you also get in New York City, you get the shows and the restaurants and they're there for other reasons than, the crime, obviously.
Yeah. Next question. So yeah, there's no good answer. There's like a million bad answers for that question. The next answer is,
Totally.
why were you working a 12-hour shift?
Well,
You're
a lot
a
of nurses.
college educated
Well,
physician's assistant.
She was pregnant, right? So
Why are you working a 12-hour shift when you're pregnant?
Yeah. But also I
is
think
it
a lot of
financial? Like, do you owe a lot of money to someone?
yeah,
Well, Sam.
It costs a lot to live in New York too. It's so expensive to live there.
Well, you know what? There's like literally 400,000 towns in America that don't cost as much as that. But anyway, is it financial? Why do you have to work a 12-hour shift?
Yeah.
And then the answers to that are like, well, it seems like maybe, or is that the best way to run hospitals? Like, I don't know. Is because like truck drivers, I don't think are allowed to drive for 12 hours straight. Are nurses allowed to give medication so in their 12th hour? Or is like, well, you gotta work a 12-hour shift, but you can't give any lethal drugs after 8 hours. Like, like after the last 4 hours, you just got to stand around and doze off. So like, why like that? Another like, why were you so? Because one of her excuses was I was so exhausted and I didn't know what was going on, and I was highly emotional because I'm 6 months pregnant and I just worked a 12-hour shift.
Yeah.
So again, I
Isn't
asked the
that a
question,
standard nurse
why?
shift though? Is that a standard nurse shift?
Okay.
I wanna say
Again,
yes.
the question is like,
I'm
yeah, it is.
asking.
I think
Like
it
4
is. And it's like,
days.
why is it? Why is
Yeah,
it?
and they
days
work less
straight.
days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Kind of like
Why?
firefighters sometimes or cops.
Yeah.
Why?
There was
I get the firefighters because they're not
takes a while to make the
injecting,
chili.
they're not injecting like prescription strength drugs into people's veins like
Right.
Yeah,
for 12-hour shifts. They're not. They're mostly cooking chili and stuff.
yeah, exactly.
And like our rich reading books about,
Having sex with
Yeah.
hot women. Yeah.
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 Keeping up
But
on
like,
roller derby
again, I'm
stats.
asking why, like you're 6 months pregnant and for some reason you feel obligated to work a 12-hour shift at a hospital caring for sick. Are there that many sick people? Are there so many sick people in your area that's what it takes? Why is that? Why are there so many sick people in your area? That's very weird. Why are
Why
you
are
so
there so many sick
exhausted?
people in our country? Our healthcare system is broken. Is that
Like,
what you want me to
yeah,
get
yeah.
to? Because I have all kinds of thoughts about the healthcare
There's a
system.
million bad answers to the question I asked. Why are you working a 12-hour shift as a 6-month pregnant woman in a hospital?
I mean, I will look, my
And
wife.
it's like, well, why do you have to live so far away from where you work?
Yeah.
Because most people don't do that. Like, like there was a
I
time
can
in
give you-
America where people didn't do that. People didn't have to drive an hour to where they work. There was a time.
Yeah. I can give you our experience because obviously my wife had our baby almost 6 months ago when she was not 6 months pregnant, but she was still 2 months pregnant. I forget till what month she kind of stopped, but she was working her normal day 8-hour shift, and then she was still working. She had an evening job where she would work 3 hours or so. So I would get home and help kind of with the kids and the food and help with the homework. And then she would get home sometimes around 9 p.m. And then she'd have an hour to do what she has to do and then be in bed and stuff like that. And she was still pregnant. And then we both got kind of frustrated at that. And I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to go with you. I'm going to help you out at this job that she worked on her own, but after work. So I would accompany her and sort of try and help her out. But I didn't like the fact that she was working so many hours. And also she said that she was not going to take her maternity leave until a week prior or a couple of days prior, she said, of her date due date. And I didn't like that either. But finally, I think the doctor they told her, look, you got to take it at least 1 month prior. If not, you're not going to get paid for your whatever. But she was ready to work literally the day, like 1 or 2 days before her due date, which I was not in agreement with, but she said she could do it. And she worked, physically, not, she wasn't working 12 hours anymore or 11 hours or whatever, but I don't know. And kind of like this nurse, well, I don't know where exactly in New York how far from the proximity from her job and her home, but we live in a different city and we drive to San Francisco and we work there. And you actually need to either take a car or take a car to the train. I wish jobs were closer, but nothing really pays that well in our town. So it'd be great if, the big city is what pays the bigger bucks, right? That's why whenever I see in towns building apartments or complexes or a new theater or a new this, a new hospital, I'm like, oh, awesome, right? Because there's developments and I'm like, great, right? Wages, homes, all this value goes up.
I think well, what do you need the bigger bucks for? I mean, it's an obvious question, but like,
Oh yeah. Well, you want to food, shelter, pay for college. If you're paying your tuition,
I'll definitely paying that
Gucci.
tuition off.
retire,
Mhm.
yeah. What was that, Quana?
I said Gucci.
Oh.
Your wife likes Gucci.
Yeah, she likes the Gucci, which I said, look, once you marry me, it's gonna slow down a little bit.
Yeah, food and shelter is a good answer. It's like, then you got to ask yourself, like, what percentage of my income is going to food and shelter?
Yeah.
And what percentage of my income is going to accessories?
Stuff. We're consumed by stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
Then you realize you're driving an hour to work,
Yeah. On a
Yeah.
bike. For
10
that
hours a
lady.
week in the car or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. These are, yeah, I get it. Like, these are like really like,
Deep.
I'm lucky. I feel like very lucky to be a child product inhabitant of the suburbs my whole
Yeah.
life. Like, just always like, it wasn't even my choice really. Just like kind of where I happened to start existing and,
Mhm.
what I gravitate towards. But yeah, it's not easy, but like, that's my thing. It's like, at some point folks got to realize, like, if you're going to like take out shitloads of money in college loans to become a physician's assistant in New York City and then work 12-hour shifts when you're 6 months pregnant, like, you might find yourself in a scrap over a rental bike with some youths.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, look,
No,
And
wouldn't
money-
you also-
and you
wouldn't
might
you
find
also
yourself an
think,
internet
though, if you would-
sensation.
if you would like, I would think this, like, if I swiped my card, that like I would be charged. Like, if they took the bike, it's my card. Like, they
Oh,
could
yeah.
steal
So
my information. They could like, I wouldn't know.
here's the
I
two.
mean, maybe she takes them every day, so she
here
might
are the
know,
two
but I
things.
wouldn't know.
There's one of two things that happen. From the youth side, their claim is that they walked up, scanned the QR code on the bike with their app, because that's how you unlock the bike, is you scan it with an app.
Right.
And then
Here's a QR code.
their claim is that the 6-month pregnant white lady then got on the scooter that they were touching, scanning, about to get on. Right. Like, so there's like four young dudes around this scooter. One of which is touching it and about to get on it, presumably. Right. And they would like you to believe that the 6-month pregnant woman was like, fuck y'all, and just jumped on it. Who also believes in, like, all the diversity and equity and all that. Just jumped on it, was like, fuck you guys. I'm taking this.
Yeah.
I'm taking this,
Yeah.
like,
And
get
they
it,
felt
like, and she
intimidated,
was like
right?
doing all kinds of finger snaps and like, like all like the, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But like that,
Yeah.
that's what they would like you to believe. What
Yeah.
she would like you to believe, and I do not know what happened. Like, she would like you to believe that she's showing you that she scanned a scooter out and removed it from the dock. And what she says is that then this guy came up and like pushed it and she was on it. Because I think like that's maybe what people do. They get on it and they scan it. I've never done,
Yeah.
I've done this like twice, but people might get on it and then scan it.
You can do either.
So
I
what
think,
she
yeah.
said was that she scanned it, which she says she has a receipt for like a 1-minute ride.
Sure. Yeah.
And they came up and they pushed it back in, which ended her ride, which produced a receipt for a 1-minute ride.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she says that that's what they did. They pushed it back in and then said it was theirs and scanned it and then covered the QR code or something like that. And then she has another receipt where she took a different rental bike like a couple minutes later when once like someone came out and was like, just take another bike, lady.
Yeah.
like you're fighting. Like,
Yeah.
what that guy was saying was what I'm saying is like, lady, you're fighting. Oh, you're a college educated woman.
Yeah.
You just got off a 12-hour shift, like injecting people, like treating, like medically treating people, you know, like
Mhm.
sick
Also, when
people,
you're
like
pregnant,
you
aren't you
need
a
to
little
get on
bit,
another bike.
when you're pregnant though, aren't you also like your emotions are a little bit
Sure.
like, you
Yeah, yeah.
know, like irrational? Like I remember
For
one
the
time
record, for the record, Quana is saying these things.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
She is a cis female.
I remember when I was pregnant with Kylie and we were kind of short on money and I wanted pizza so bad. And my husband gave me $100 bill to like go to the store and like,
Mhm.
and I thought it would be cheaper to like buy a Boboli and make it myself instead of ordering pizza. But I wanted pizza so bad. And he gave me a $100 bill and I lost it. I
Oh,
fucking lost it. I
yeah.
lost my mind. You would have thought I
Yeah.
had lost the baby. Like I lost it. So I mean, maybe she was just like, you know,
Really
Well-
dehydrated.
$100 is a lot
Yeah.
of money back then.
Oh yeah.
I
Quana,
know.
I think
have-
anybody would be like, "Where's that? Put that $100." What?
Yeah.
Quana, I have something similar as well. It was, I want to say it was maybe a Friday night, and you know, the wife was already pregnant. She was already pregnant, and she wanted one of those street hot dogs. Because she likes those things. And so I like them too. But it was
What kind
it
of
was
hot dogs? Street hot dogs?
one of those street hot dogs from the street
Oh, yeah.
vendors.
So good.
Yeah, you know, bacon wrapped and all that stuff.
Oh, boy.
And it was around maybe 11 p.m., something like that. And I told her, I said, babe, don't, let's go somewhere else, or let's go. And she wanted to stop the car and get out and go to this area that was not the safest. And I got upset. And I said, stop, just we'll get it later. She goes, I don't care. She goes, I'm pregnant. I'm hungry. I want one of those. I want. And then she got mad. And then I guess she kind of gave me a guilt trip. And then I'm in the passenger side of the car. She's driving. And then I said, okay, let's go back. She goes, no. And she was going to hold this over me. Like, I know she was going to just hold it against me for a while. I said, all right, fine. Let's just go. Cause I thought about it as well. Yeah, you're right. She's pregnant. She's got, these emotions. She's hungry. She's got these cravings. And so,
Dehydrated.
and I thought about it. So
You need fluids.
yeah, exactly. So I thought about it and I said, let's go back. Let's go. She goes, nope, no, not anymore. I'm not hungry. I'm not, nope. So what I did was I got out of the car. And we were in the middle of the street and there was a red light. I got out of the car. I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to go get you the hot dog. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you at home. I'm going to go get you the hot dog. So I just started walking, like we were already like 2.5 blocks away. She calls me. She's like, where are you at? I'm like, I'm walking. All right. If you want it, I'll see you at the corner and I'm going to get you your hot dog. And again, this was like at 9 p.m. I got her the hot dog. But I felt bad, but at the same time,
Super manly.
I was like, this, yes. I said, okay, you know what, babe? You want your hot dog? Let's get you your hot dog. And it was a small victory, right? It's a small victory, but I didn't want to, this is her thing. She's pregnant. She's giving birth to my baby, our baby. I don't, like the least I could do is
get the freaking hot dog.
Yeah. Now I did tell her, I told her, babe, I just for the record, I just want you to know that I'm concerned for your safety and mine. Okay. So if anything were to happen, I'm going to jump in front of you. Just want to let you know this.
Right. You're gonna offer to get raped instead of her. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh, so this, and I agree with Monkey's uncle. Monkey's uncle said they threatened her by violating her nesting impulse. She went into mama bear mode. Which
They were touching her so close. It was so
agree.
close.
I agree.
And I mean, it's just like, yeah. I saw, because I didn't watch the video when you showed it, but then I saw it on the news and I was like, oh, I've heard about that. And so I watched it. I went and watched it on my phone and I was like, oh, that's why I said I would like you to explain to me, like, what was everybody so upset about? Like, it seems clear that she is,
I didn't watch the
The
whole
only
thing
thing
'cause
that's
it upsets
unclear,
me.
the one thing that's unclear is that the receipts that were shown in the news article had the timestamp grayed out,
Oh, okay.
which is like, yeah, I think it's fair to be very
Suspect.
suspicious about that.
Yeah.
The deep fake.
Well, everyone's talking about it, so.
But then I also
probably-
saw that like someone said, I didn't take the time to like zoom in, but someone said that you could see on the receipt the bike number, like the unit number, of the bike, and it's also on in the picture on the bike. But I don't know.
So it was
Yeah.
hers or
A
theirs.
lie.
I feel like it was a confusion. I feel like it was
No,
a
they're
confusion.
saying that like the time stamp is blurred out, but you could see that the serial number of the bike on the receipt and in the video are the same,
Gotcha.
which would be extremely difficult to reproduce in a city full of city bikes that are just like all over the place.
Right.
But then again, people lie on the internet all the time.
Seen it happen.
Yeah.
Someone could like literally like someone could just of repute, you know, someone like have that it's like reputable and has a blue check could come out and say that something like that without any evidence whatsoever.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
can buy their blue checks now, so it's the Wild West.
Yeah.
Or even when they couldn't, even when they were just a Washington Post journalist with a blue check that they didn't pay
Yeah.
for, they could just come out and say things that were lies. They could
True.
come out and they could say things that were like, you know, like kind of like framing a sitting US president for treason, you know, with their blue checks and just state things that were just false with no evidence, you know.
Yeah.
J6 as an insurrection. Yeah. that too.
Well, you know what? That's why I'm not so against Big Brother. Sort of. I mean, at least
show?
cameras.
The show,
Oh.
the CBS show.
No.
Or-
Well,
Oh,
no.
like in
His
general.
specific big brother
Let's.
Okay.
was like giving him noogies and
Tito!
stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I've learned to forgive.
And now his true Guatemalan colors are showing.
I know, right? No. Okay, cameras in public. There you go.
Mhm.
In public. What I'm saying is in public because sometimes, you know, it's easier to find out some answers.
In public, your phone literally takes a picture of you every 3 seconds. While we're sitting here, somebody put a black light on their phone like this, just constantly taking
Mhm.
pictures of your face.
Yeah.
So not just out in the streets, buddy. They're seeing your peen too.
Oh shit, not that. They didn't even get
Um,
my consent.
Here's me holding my phone like,
Pulled out a
You-
shark carcass.
You know what's
think
what's
it's
funny?
sad.
Speaking of that, and people are taking pictures of you. I think something that I get a kick out of, and I think it's funny, but at the same time, it's sort of a privacy issue. Is if you follow Adam Ray on Instagram, he will post these pictures when he's in an airplane because you know these
The
comedians
funniest thing.
travel a lot. Yeah, so he'll take pictures of people walking in. And he'll put a description of who they are and a backstory, and this is so and so, and this is, and sometimes you can see the picture of the person looking straight at the camera.
it's
Yeah.
You know,
that's
It's so
funny.
funny.
That is
Yeah.
funny, but it is unfair.
it's.
I
it
really
is, yes.
It's spot on, though. He
I
is
love
spot
comedy,
on.
but like
Yes, I know exactly. Yeah,
I would also like to
I
walk
agree
on
with
an
you.
airplane knowing that there's not some son of a bitch like being
I
like,
agree.
just,
I agree.
here's angry dad that's ready to choke somebody out.
Yes, that's Chris.
Like I
yeah.
don't want to be judged when I'm.
Chris, I did that to you one time. There's a picture somewhere
I
where
don't like it. It's funny, but I don't like it.
no, when we were gonna meet up, all of us.
The man
I
who
think
loves
all of us.
memes.
We were gonna meet up in Portland one time. I see a guy in the airplane, and I took a picture of him. He's sitting down, not his face though. He's wearing these shorts, these kind of suburban shorts. He's probably wearing the freaking New Balance, the white New Balances.
You can just say cargo shorts. It's not racist.
And I think he's wearing like a polo shirt. And it's probably tucked in with these, you know, a brown belt. And I took a picture of it, and I
I
sent
haven't
it
tucked
to
my shirts in for like 3 years, man. It's out. It's out.
I sent it
old
to the
hack.
group,
Only with a belt.
and I said,
Now
"Oh,
he's
hey,
all
I
about
bumped into
Manchester
Chris."
United.
If I'll find it one day, but I have it somewhere. And I said I bumped into Chris. It's there. But I've done it before.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't be judged in that situation. I mean, I'm already. Like, yeah, it doesn't help the situation, Adam Ray, that like people are in a extremely hostile, like
Oh, for
aggravated
sure.
state at that moment. Like,
Yeah.
you're
They're going on
begging.
vacation. Oh, I guess
Well,
they're traveling for work. Yeah, that
yeah.
too.
Like 80%. Like,
Yeah.
hey, everybody going to Disney World? like you have to appreciate the misery
Yeah.
in that tube you're in. Like there's a lot of misery going on, and
Chris,
there's a lot
Chris
of
is going to the
anger.
convention center in Wichita.
There's a lot of rage about
Ugh.
the Ford Fusion rental car they got when they asked specifically for a fucking upgrade.
Yeah.
know?
Got it. My bad.
Anyway,
I meant infrared, not UV, by the way.
Yeah.
okay.
She got
There's a
corrected.
difference now.
Anyway,
Well,
the
she
moral,
was
the moral
correcting
of the
me.
story. Well,
Need him on
no,
my shoulder.
I'll do the moral of the story later. But Robbie, I got some questions that have only bad answers.
Okay.
Okay, here comes
Why-
the protection.
Why? No, this is the no, this is I don't know. I don't have any clever words for this, but why do you appreciate Big Brother?
Oh, well, okay. Well, for these types of things, because
What types of things?
Crimes.
Okay.
and,
okay.
What
Why
about
are-
misdemeanors?
What crimes? What kind of like what kind of crimes? Like
Violent crimes.
why are there so many violent crimes around you?
Oh shoot.
why do you need Big Brother to protect you from so many violent crimes? It's
They don't
unfortunately
even
no
have
good
video of the plane crashing into the Pentagon. You think they're protecting you with their cameras? No.
sorry,
they're
I'm
not.
sorry if it's like
They're
being
not.
kind of a dick, but it's like there's no good answers to these questions, man.
no. Well, look, speaking of Big Brother again, my
Again.
Yeah.
I've got a stepdaughter who's and even my wife, stepdaughter who's 20. At one point she was working evenings, so I bought her a mace. I got her I think I got my wife a dash cam. I
The
got
mace
one
you
of-
swing or the spray?
It better be the one that you swing.
Yeah, I know,
Medieval on someone's
And
ass.
I
Mikey
actually-
ball
I
Yep.
bought a body
coming out
cam
to play.
Yep.
I bought a body cam for one of them as well. I think for my wife, a body. It was like this big. You put it on your belt, or you put it, you clip on. And no, I'm not kidding. Like,
Do you only you have the lock?
Gotta scan the
so-
QR
Like,
code.
like this cannot be turned on or off by the wearer.
Only
Yeah,
the
I'm like-
director.
I'll activate it from where I'm
Rocky.
at. Like, listen.
It's voice activated.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've got the a lot of people have the Ring or the Nest, cameras. I have them. I had them at my
You
parents'
just put it right on your lady.
Yeah.
Just put the Ring
Yeah.
doorbell.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got for those. I've got my keys. These are my work keys right here. I don't know if you guys can see them, but I've got the Tile. This thing. They're not a sponsor yet, but
Nice.
I have them on my keys.
Thanks, Tile.
Yeah. So I don't know, but the thing is, the dangerous thing is you can, if you have access to that info, you'll know where I'm. If I'm always carrying those keys, you'll know right where I'm at or where I've been
Oh.
going. Right. So I better be a
you're-
good boy.
Your location could
Yeah.
be sold on
Yeah.
the dark web, Robbie. Watch
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm about to
That's why I
abduct you.
put
I'm about to
Bill's
abduct you.
air tag in his truck. Like I just put
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna
under the seat.
abduct you and sell you into human trafficking.
Yeah.
There's a select market.
Yeah.
Guatemalans.
I don't know. Yeah, all that GPS stuff. I'm sure it's a little too much, but unless you're gonna go hiking or you're gonna go on the ladies. I'm gonna go on a date. Here's my location. This is a new guy.
Oh, I think
I
about it.
follow a lot of my friends' locations. I
Yeah.
follow my kids'
If-
locations, obviously, but I follow a lot of my friends' locations too.
If there was a way for me to chip my kids, but
Mhm.
I was the only person on that network that could see them,
Yeah,
done deal.
Mhm.
1,000,000% done
But
and
when
done.
it's like, but when it's through the friendly cloud, no,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no. Big,
I got a
no.
dog back after 7 years with a microchip. They work
Oh,
like
Yeah. There you go.
well, they don't work unless they only work if somebody scans them. I would like the chip to be like activated. You can activate it and exactly like if you
Yeah.
find your iPhone.
I'm
in my
not
children.
cool. I'm not cool with it, but I'm not cool with it totally, but I'll accept if you're like obsessed with my dog's location, and you're like thinking about like doing bad things to my dog,
Yeah.
abducting my dog, and like selling my
into
dog into like like a
canine
like dog,
trafficking.
yeah, like dog racing, like Michael Vick's, like summer camp,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I'm not okay with it, but I understand it. But like, you
Right.
can talk about human kids. That's like, no, you need to be stomped out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to say, Michael Vick's summer
Hmm.
camp is not the best Disney Plus.
Michael
Streaming
Vick's summer
movie.
camp
That doesn't
for
sound right.
canines.
No, not the best of the Disney Plus streaming exclusives.
My dogs don't want to go.
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, fellas.
I think it's a
But
good
yeah.
place to start bringing it
Oh,
home.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I feel very hostile tonight. I don't know. I feel very
Yeah, I could sense it. It's the Mercury in retrograde. I told you already.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just a couple more days, I think. We'll be fine. We'll get through it. We'll get through it.
I don't know. What if Mercury why do I keep wanting to say Mercury?
Yeah.
I don't know, you
Merchant
weird. Are
Marines.
you?
You're thinking about
impost-
Merchant Marines.
Yeah, probably that. It's just your patriotism. It's overflowing from
What if
within.
Mercury gets stuck in retrograde?
It's stuck in Gatorade.
know
That's why
what?
things are so
Also,
weird.
I would like for any of you three to tell
Yeah.
me the definition of retrograde within 10 seconds.
I
Okay, I'm gonna need Monkey's uncle for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sound off, Monkey's uncle.
yeah, come on, Monkey's uncle.
This is where we
Big.
need you the most.
Big.
Come on.
None
Speak
of you know what Mercury is, and none of you know what retrograde is. And I'm talking
All
to
right.
myself as well. I don't know what either of these things are.
Mercury looks like the T with
I think retrograde is moving, yeah, like a backwards motion.
moving backwards in the sky instead of forward.
Okay.
There you go.
How does that work
Yeah.
if the Earth's flat, Rich? Do we know? I mean, Monk.
Well, so now that we
What?
know the definition, you're telling me that a planet is moving backwards, like just like skips back, like a record scratching?
It says relative to the appearance of its regular orbit, is what Monkey's uncle said.
Relative
this stuff?
to the appearance
Of
Of
its
its-
regular orbit.
Don't involve my family in this. My relatives have nothing to do with this.
man.
It's on the back side of the orbit.
Always
He
on the
said back
backside.
in all caps though. Back side.
Oh, nothing. What?
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why
That's why
I'm
it's just
soggy. I'm not crunchy. I
yeah.
don't understand it either. I
It
just
sounds
know it's
like sounds to me
happening.
like some lady talk is taking over astronomy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand it.
that's just the Capricorn in you, bro.
I'm
All
no Neil
things-
Armstrong.
All things relative to their appearance. Something.
Something for you to go full tism with this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what's gonna strike that nerve.
It's gonna set
What's
you
gonna
off.
strike the T nerve. Yeah, but I was thinking, yeah, I'm sorry, but if you find yourself in a scrap with someone your opposite sex
Yeah.
who is
Later tonight. go
20
ahead.
years your junior, you're
Yeah,
living life. You're
senior.
living life all wrong.
Oh, okay.
You're
Yeah.
living life wrong. You need to begin to reflect on all of your decisions that led up to this point.
All right. That's
Mhm.
fair.
I think it's fair.
That's fair.
If anybody doesn't think it's fair, then I say that's fair too. I don't really,
Yeah. We do what we want.
put yourself in that position all you want.
Yeah.
Never own a bike and be happy. That's
The moral of this fucking story.
that's like you want anything and you'll be happy. You won't own anything and you'll be happy. I don't know
Or
what group
be,
thought of that.
be like me,
I
own a
want to
bike
do a
and remain
city bike
happy.
bus tour or like a pub crawl with the city bikes. We used to have them in my city, but I don't think we do anymore.
I think that sounds like a liability issue.
The homeless people stole them.
Oh,
Monkey's uncle
I
says-
guarantee you that City Bike, before they dropped off their first bike, they made sure that within this district they were completely, they were not liable for anything that might happen.
Yeah. I've only
100%.
seen those are by City Bank. Those are City Bank bikes. Like the logo is the same. Ours
Yeah,
are just
sure.
literally like from our city. Like they're like like a Yogo or there's something
In
weird
my
named.
in my neighboring town, this is kind of something that's interesting to know how those things work. In my neighboring town of which is Frisco, the city of Frisco in North Texas. There's a company called Bird, I think, that does the scooters,
Yeah.
scooter
yeah.
rentals. Is that Bird?
Bird. Yeah.
That the company Bird decided one day, all on their own, to send a truck from wherever they make these electric scooters. That they send a truck to this city, or it's a city like legally, but it's really a town, right? It's like it's a suburban town. The company Bird decided to send a truck full of scooters to this town to just drop them off. They didn't ask anyone, which I'm kind of okay with that, but they didn't.
It's like a vending machine though. It's
They did
like
not ask.
concept, right?
Yeah, they did not ask anyone. They just dropped them off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
So sort of like Uncle Sam when they dropped, coincidentally dropped off a bunch of hardcore drugs in the inner city.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oxycontin.
Exactly.
Thank you, Big Pharma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scooters are crack. Or like hip or like white suburban crack. But like they did that. And then within a week, the city council met and was banned it and like basically said, if you like, they passed a local city ordinance that said, if you don't pick up these bikes within 24 hours, we're going to sue you to like oblivion.
Nice.
And then they were like, whoop, go get those damn bikes. And the bikes disappeared. But for like
Experiment's over.
For a few days, there were like a bunch of suburban kids that were like getting on these bikes and riding across freeways, like
holy shit,
like riding through intersections, like yeah, like the point of this is that the people who are making executive decisions at the company called Bird,
I think that's what ours were.
do not care one goddamn bit about the safety of you or your kids.
Oh, so I could do a pub crawl on the city bikes.
They could not care less.
Is that the moral?
They could not care less. That the person that made that executive decision to just drop off rental bikes in a city without any warning, that would allow a child to get on one of their rental bikes and zip through an intersection without any training.
To ride a bike?
To ride an electric scooter.
Oh, yeah. I thought they're bikes.
We're
I'm
talking
sorry.
about
You calling them city bikes?
No, they're just they're the scooters, like whatever.
Hers was a bike. Hers looked like a bike. It had a front wheel tire, right?
Yeah, I would say that that you're telling me that you don't care if a few kids die.
I don't personally, honestly, from my heart, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, does that make me a bad person? I mean, a lot of people die.
No, I mean, well, it's like, but the people that are making executive decisions at the publicly traded company called Bird,
yeah,
are they our
I'm not
sponsor?
there.
Are like
them.
Not yet.
Are like just
Okay.
dropping scooters off that kids can get on and just like ride around like in traffic,
Yeah.
like without any notice, without contacting the city, without like notifying parents.
It happened in your city? Is that why you're so personally like heated about it? Was it your city?
Next door.
No, like the next, I just said the neighboring city,
sorry.
that's like the company Bird dropped off a bunch of scooters in the middle of the city, in the town, without telling anyone, right? Without like notifying police, hey, tomorrow there might be a bunch of people riding scooters around your town.
Did anybody die?
I have solved the mystery.
No, but I will say that.
Okay, so nobody died. So I can be fine with people dying that didn't actually die.
I'm saying that what I said was that within a week the city council met and banned them because they realized it was really irresponsible. Right?
A Bird.
Yes.
Yeah. True.
This is
And
all
so I'm
funded by
saying,
George
like,
Soros.
the people at Bird were
I
just
know,
like,
right?
the people at Bird were just like, let's drop off these scooters that are accessible by children. Let's drop them off in the middle of the town. It's just like, fuck it. Let's see what happens.
Are they not credit card scooters? They weren't credit card scooters. They were just
They're the
app
credit card
scooters?
scooters. You don't think minors have credit cards? Like,
I don't have any minors, so I don't know, Christopher. I'm
they
sorry.
have cards
Sorry.
because like they
I'm
can't like,
sorry. I'm
yeah, they do.
sorry.
They have
I'm
cards. So they could
sorry.
like, anyway. We're
That'd be,
getting-
that'd be an awful way to fuck up your credit score by just these bullshit ass
Bird,
fucking
bird
yeah,
scooters.
bird scooter or city bike rentals. It's like, why?
Yeah.
You have parents.
Well, where were the parents? I mean, what are the kids doing in the city renting bikes, scooters?
They were kicked out
Bikes.
by their parents and be
the
like, "Look, just-
parents, you can only know what you know.
because it was such a yeah, you didn't know that it was going to happen. Bird didn't tell anybody.
Okay. Well,
I
thank you
got
for
it. Now I
answering
get
your
it.
own
Got it.
question that you asked in contempt.
Yeah.
Thank
No,
you
I
for
wasn't in
answering it so
contempt.
quickly by yourself. Like, yeah, the parents didn't like thought their kids didn't realize there were going to be these scooters suddenly appearing.
This
Right?
is why I'm hard to watch movies with, too, 'cause
They thought that they were just allowing their kids to like walk to the convenience store and get like a drink, you know.
right. I get it now.
They didn't
I'm
realize
sorry.
there'd be a scooter in front of that convenience store that the kid could hop on and then ride in traffic.
Yeah. Thank God no one died.
And I would guarantee you that in the country there have been minors that have died on these scooters.
If that's
sure.
their practices.
If I
it's
listen to this
probably-
later and I Google it, I will find you someone, a minor who has, you know, with maybe an maybe an irresponsible adult, but a parent,
Yeah.
but like a minor that has rented a scooter and died
Yeah.
on that
From
scooter.
Bird. Specific.
And I can guarantee you that City Bike is completely indemnified against any legal action if that happens. Guaranteed.
I also want to add that Christopher switched to the 12-ounce Coors. Right.
No, 16 ounce.
60.
close, close. They're also
That's where
this
the value
episode
is.
sponsored.
Yeah, I'm like a stockbroker for beer value, light beer value. Yeah. Like there's like, you know, websites and people you can follow to get stock
Like
advice.
his
I'm
uncle said, Chris is more mad about scooters than kids with guns.
yeah.
Chris is more mad about scooters and kids.
I will guarantee you that more kids are on scooters than have guns, and more kids have died. Well, no, I don't want. I'm a little tipsy.
It's
Yeah, we could
16
tell.
ounces,
We could
y'all.
tell.
He's used to
I
12
probably shouldn't be
ounces.
making up
It's
my own
fine.
statistics right
Yeah,
now.
let's not get you canceled.
I'll make
today.
I'll wait until I'm sober to make up my own statistics.
All right.
Yeah.
But I will respond to that.
Well, y'all, I think it's time we get it on.
Okay. It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
I gotta
outside.
go
I'm gonna go
see the
outside and start a
baby.
fire.
Yeah.
Please burn things responsibly.
Oh, yeah.
Burn your neighbor's house down. The one that told
Yeah.
the kids that there's no God. Yeah.
Oh
But
my
we'll
gosh,
get into that next time.
Next week.
Yeah.
Robbie.
Yeah, sorry,
Just 'cause
sorry.
you don't want to go home.
It's all right.
Dude, don't spoil our next episode, man.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah,
do what we
God's
want.
not real, y'all. God's not real. This just in from Chris's neighborhood. God
It's all right. I
is
don't
not
want to get him
real.
worked up. You know what, guys? It's been fun.
Some
It's
little
late.
Texas Indian.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Like, subscribe,
All the things. We appreciate the listeners. Thank you.
and wish